Welcome to A Course in Miracles Workbook for Students, Lesson 243. Today I will judge nothing that occurs. Wow. This right here is the key. If you feel like you've been at the door for a while to come home, but it's locked, here's the key. God keeps it under the doormat, so here you go. Now you know. I will be honest with myself today. I will not think that I already know what must remain beyond my present grasp. I will not think I understand the whole from bits of my perception, which are all that I can see. Wow. Can we just pause and reflect on that for a moment? We're not going to pretend that we understand the whole, that we understand everything based on the tiny bits of perception that each of us has based on our life experience, which are really all that we can see. Today, I recognize that this is so, and so I am relieved of judgments that I cannot make. It is a relief. You don't have to be the judge because you're not qualified. I'm sorry, you're not. You're not qualified to judge what your neighbor should have done. You haven't lived their life. You don't have their DNA. You don't have their nurture or their nature. You simply are not qualified. And what a relief, because if you were, you might have to be the judge, and that would be a really stressful job. I remember the day I realized, oh, I don't have to critique or judge or condemn anyone. That's totally optional. And the weight that took off my shoulders. Someone's acting crazy to my bits of perception, okay. But I can't understand the whole from those little bits of my perception. So I'm just going to admit that I don't know and leave the judgment to God, if anyone needs to be judged. The paradox here is that because God does see the whole story, God's judgment is, you are still my son. And that used to make my ego really upset because my ego wanted God to damn everyone to hell that I didn't like. A little bit of sibling rivalry, I guess. I am relieved of judgments that I cannot make. Thus do I free myself and what I look upon to be in peace as God created us. Wow. To be in peace as God created us. That's what God created us for. So when people are like, well, why does God let all these wars happen? I think we need to ask ourselves, why do we let all these wars happen? Father, today I leave creation free to be itself. I honor all its parts, in which I am included. We are one because each part contains your memory, and truth must shine in all of us as one. I honor all its parts, including which I am. You get to be included in that honoring. You get to be included in no longer judging the world as it is. If there are aspects of your self that you don't like, maybe give yourself some grace today that there are reasons why you're like that. And hold space for that. And in that space, fill it with compassion, self-compassion. And from there, I promise you, if you can hold that loving self-compassion, it will spread and you'll start to be able to see others in that light. It doesn't mean you're going to justify or excuse abuse or harm. But it will free you from the role of judge. God doesn't condemn us, but that doesn't free us from cause and effect in the law of the harvest, karma. It's impossible to cause harm, to knowingly, willfully cause harm, and be happy. Ego may have its counterfeits to happiness, but it is not peaceful and it does not last. So in that way, we are each inflicting punishment on ourselves when we make poor choices. And it's okay to let yourself off the hook. If you've learned from those mistakes and you've changed, let it go. If you haven't learned from those mistakes, well, spend some time in quiet contemplation and self-reflection and look at why. What is stopping you from making changes? If you're doing something harmful that's hurting someone else, what's stopping you from changing your attitude or your actions towards that person, place, or thing? What's stopping you? Be honest with yourself. And absolutely, completely, wholly, and fully, when you have learned the lesson, let it go. Let go of recrimination and regret and sorrow, because you've already paid the price. And you don't have to keep paying the same price over and over and over. If we left it up to our egos, we would be forever damned, and so would everyone else for their mistakes. Thank God it's not left up to ego. Because you have the ability and the wisdom and the power to take that power back and to place it where it belongs, with God. Thank you so much for being on this journey with me. I know I won't always express everything perfectly, but my love for you is genuine and my intent is perfect. It's for you to be happy. So please forgive me when I fall short in expressing these beautiful, whole, saving truths. Today, I will judge nothing that occurs. And I will see you tomorrow for lesson 244.